Well, hello, Lions fans. As everybody's aware that our season is officially over, but what a hell of a season it was. I mean, our offense was amazing. Being a Lions fan for almost 50 years now, to see them actually, I can't say to see them, but to actually expect them to win games now instead of hoping to win games. I haven't had this kind of excitement since the Barry Sanders days, Scott Mitchell days, Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, where we had a prolific offense. It feels good to actually have hope rather than a wish. So it's really good. Just start that off. So we're gonna go look into what the future of the Lions look like. We have 22 free agents that are on the block, we'll say. A lot of those, 10, 12 of those were starters. Well, at least they were supposed to be starters. Huge part of the season that happened was our defense. Our defense got pummeled by injuries. I mean, when you start the season, you have at least 7 or 8 starters that were supposed to start on injured reserve that can't play. I mean, I think our Glenn did a hell of a job playing the players that he had to work with. For us to only have 2 losses, I mean, it just says a lot about our offense to show that our offense was unstoppable. The only way people stopped our offense was self-induced, which happened in the playoffs against Washington. We had 4 turnovers. It cost us. I mean, we had to rely. We put our defense put our offense in a situation where we had to make plays, and we're desperate to make plays because we couldn't stop them on defense. When we were playing with players that technically were not on the team or expected to be maybe 4th or 5th, 6th string people that probably should have never been on the field. I mean, they're all pros. They're all superior talent. But it caught up to us at the end. And I'm just proud to say I'm a Lions fan, and I look forward to the future. But let's go ahead and just get started. We'll start with our coaching staff. Dan Campbell. He's the type of player type of coach that I would have loved to play for. And I feel like a lot of the NFL feels that same way. I seen Max Crosby say the other day about the people that are on the team here now that are talking about the way Dan Campbell is and that he'll tell you the truth and he's up front with you. He's not going to sugarcoat anything, and I love that. As a player, when I played, I would rather have a coach yell at me or tell me what I'm doing wrong rather than, hey, you'll get it next time type coach. And I think that results in the way that this team plays every day. On offense, all right, let's go back to the coaching. Aaron Glenn, he'll be gone. No reason why he shouldn't be. He's a great defensive coordinator. Personally, I remember when he was brought in here, game 2 to 3, when he was brought in, people were calling for him to be fired because our defense was terrible. I mean, our defense was terrible. I mean, we had to build the defense. Aiden Hutchinson was a revival. He got injured. But Aaron Glenn, I wish him the best. Like I said, he deserves to be a head coach somewhere. And, with Ben Johnson, I mean, I would have loved to keep these guys around, but it just wasn't going to happen. Ben Johnson's an offensive genius. His play calling, other than the Jamison Williams interception. But like I said, you put ourselves in an offense in a position where we had to do something because we couldn't stop him on defense. And but Ben Johnson going to the Bears, I'd like him to go to see another team. Yeah, I was hoping he'd go to the Raiders. But him going to the Bears, working with Caleb Williams, we'll see how that works out. Ben Johnson is a genius. I mean, I'm hoping that our next offensive coordinator comes within that's worked with these players and keeps that same kind of mindset on offense to where anything can happen any play. There was literally, like, any time that the Lions ran a play, they could have scored a touchdown. I mean, that's the kind of offensive mindset they had in what Ben Johnson instilled. So yeah, seeing those guys gone, it's gonna suck. But I look forward to seeing who they bring in. Like I said, hopefully it's somebody within that is familiar with the players. And our quarterback, Jared Goff, he had 2 bad games. But one of the games against the Texans, we won. We actually won. I mean, this game, you're playing with the elite team against the Commanders. And it just didn't happen. But again, he was put in a position that he had to make plays because we couldn't stop him on defense. Running backs, got Jahmyr Gibbs, It's the dude's amazing. Sonic and Knuckles. It's with David Montgomery. I mean, they were fun to watch. Montgomery gets hurt with a knee, and you could tell against the Commanders game he wasn't the same running back as he was throughout the season. And did we bring him back early? No. I mean, we had to have somebody. I mean, it's not like he hurt us on offense. It's just you could just tell with his maneuverability, it was definitely not 100%. But yeah, we got Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Those guys are going to be a cornerstone. Our third, those two guys are always going to get the ball. So our third and fourth string with Vaki and Raymond. I mean, those guys. I mean, they were lucky to get touches. Vaki actually didn't really get much of all. I was hoping to see him a little bit more, even on defense with safety possibly, because he played all those positions in college, and he just never had the chance. He was more of a special teams guy. And so being he is a rookie. Wide receivers, St. Brown, Williams. We have a few free agents there. You got Tim Patrick. Those guys. Tim Patrick, he is what I remember. I don't know if people remember Tom Waddle for the Bears. He was a sure hands third down receiver, and Tim Patrick caught the ball. I mean, he was always a third down guy and looking to get him the ball. It was fun. And I hope they can bring him back. Yeah, he is older, but let's go to the offensive line. We got Zietler as a free agent. Mahogany, I think, is going to be a future of the line. And, with Sewell and, those guys, Skipper's a free agent, and he'll probably be going. I hope he loves Detroit enough because, he's not a great lineman, but he's a great teammate. And you can see that when they threw him the touchdown pass. He's just the guy, and he's a giant for a human being. And even though he doesn't play much, but he's a crowd favorite. And the offense is good. I'm not worried about the offense. The defense is where we need to improve more. Regardless of the injuries, we had a list of guys on the injury list. Davenport went down. McNeil went down. We had Hutchinson go down. We had Carlton Davis in the backfield. He goes down. Amik Robinson. He had one great game against Minnesota and breaks his arm the second play of the game against the Commanders. And how heartfelt. It was just we had a black cloud over our head on injuries for the defensive side. We had guys that we were expecting things from, like I said, like Davenport, Barnes. It's just that they never were able to do anything. I remember at the beginning of the season where our depth chart came out, and you had Malcolm Rodriguez before the season even started. They said he may get cut, and he ended up being a crucial part of our defense. Then he gets hurt, so Anzalone gets hurt. It was just injury after injury, and these free agents that we have, our special teams. Jack Fox is one of the best punters in the league, and how about Jake Bates? We actually have a for sure kicker now. Where our last kicker, we had Eddie Murray back when I was younger, and then we had Jason Hansen for the longest time. And but now we got a kicker that is young, and he's going to be our kicker for a long time. And he's got a hell of a leg; he can boot the crap out of the ball. But there's a lot of things that I think we need to get better at, and our cornerbacks obviously with the injuries, but Terrion Arnold. It just seemed like he did his job. But he got burnt a lot and made a lot of bad plays. He is a rookie, and I'm not saying this is going to happen all the time. He's going to get better, which I hope he does. But in all actuality, if it was any other team, I don't know if he would have started. He was all the penalties at the beginning of the year. He did clean that up a little bit at the end of the year, where he wasn't getting so many interference penalties. But Terrion Arnold he's got to improve, and I was just hoping more, and just seeing his highlights from his Bama days and being a corner that he was. He's a physical corner, which I like, and he'll get under your skin, but he not had one interception throughout the year. He in the Washington game, he made a bad. You're supposed to contain the corner, let him get outside the corner, and end up getting a first down. It's just mental mistakes. And he is a rookie, but he's got to improve, and hopefully that comes. Kirby Joseph, great year. He's fun to watch. Brian Branch, those guys are going to be all pros. And they'll get there. I mean, they're definitely going to get there. And I just think that we got more to work to improve on. And but let's go ahead and start going over these free agents we have. We got Tim Patrick. Hopefully we bring him back. Hopefully, I'm sure he loves Detroit. Allen Robinson, he was another guy we picked up throughout the year. He didn't really play. I mean, he made some big catches, but if we don't bring him back, I don't see that being an issue. Hopefully we can pick up somebody in the draft for another a third string wide receiver, our third wide receiver. J-Mo, a couple bonehead plays, a couple bonehead things he's done, but I like the guy. Dude's fast, and he brings another offensive weapon to, with running. After the catch with his speed going downfield. Just we got to hit him on the pass. Zeitler, like I said, I expect him to probably either be gone. He's 34 years old. I don't know if he'll be coming back. And that would be fine because we got Mahogany behind him. And even against, I think it was the third or fourth game. First game we wore the black uniforms. We had Kyoto Iwasaka, I believe that's his last name, or how you pronounce it. He did a great job filling in that game. But yeah, we got that free agent. Yeah, Dan Skipper, I'm hoping he'd come back just because of what I like. Teddy Bridgewater, it was kind of a slap in the face to Hendon Hooker when Jared Goff went and got hurt against the Commanders game where he had to go get the concussion protocol done. And they didn't put Hendon Hooker in, and they put in Bridgewater, which is fine, but because it was only a couple plays. But could that maybe hurt Hendon Hooker to what am I doing here type thing? But yeah, Marcus Davenport, free agent, didn't really do much with us because he's been injured. I don't know if he's going to be coming back. Carlton Davis, free agent. Hopefully he comes back. I did like him. Pico, he's a free agent. Levi and Zwerke, he's a free agent. Hopefully they bring those two guys back. I like Pico. Derek Barnes, didn't really see much of him. Kendall Vildor, I don't want him back. I'll be honest, I just don't want him back. I'd rather give a free agent or a rookie unsigned a chance before him. Ifueto, was that Milan Fuwa? Whatever. He's a free agent. Hopefully he comes back. I liked him. He was hurt most of the year, but he came back. Maurice Norris, he won't be coming back. If he does, it'll be a free agent. John Kaminsky, I liked him last year. Got hurt in preseason this year, and never played. Pat O'Connor, Eastern Michigan guy. Hopefully he comes back. I did like the way he played until he got hurt. We got Trevor Nowosky. Hopefully he comes back. Zadarius Smith. I believe he's not a free agent, but those guys are still good here. But another free agent, Muhammad. I thought he did pretty well. He was basically a six-string, linebacker that our defensive end that played because of our injuries. But yeah, that's a list of our free agents. In our defense, DJ Reader. He did great. And Hutchinson was 7.5 sacks. He still led our team in sacks, and he only played 6 games. We got a lot of work to do on defense still, and hopefully we got a ton of salary cap room, and hopefully we can bring some of these players in and play. You see Max Crosby make statements like, he said he was upset because the Lions are finally good after being terrible his whole career or whole life growing up in Michigan. If we could somehow get a player like him or Hendrickson from Cincinnati to add more defense, because we had no pressure. We had no threat other than Hutchinson and when Smith came in. But imagine if we had threats on both ends to where it would be a total game changer on defense because the quarterback would have to get rid of the ball, and it wouldn't give us the chance that our corners getting burnt or not keeping up with receivers. But yeah, our future looks good. I'm not saying this is the end of the Lions because it's not. It's just good to see them that we expect them to win now rather than hoping to win or let's just make sure we don't get blown out this game, make it respectable, or, what it was 15 years ago where we were like, all right, let's just go ahead and look for the number 1 pick. where we draft wide receiver after wide receiver back-to-back years, Mike Williams and Rodgers, and they both didn't pan out for us. But yeah, so we got a lot of work cut out for us. It was a fun year, and as a Lions fan, they were fun to watch. And listening to the announcers, Troy Aikman, Tom Brady, the way they said that, they were like, how could you not want to play for these guys? It wasn't in your bingo card. Amon-Ra St. Brown throwing it to Jared Goff. But yeah, we definitely got our work cut out for us next year on the defensive side, and I think we're going to do it. If we would have stayed healthy this year, I don't think anybody could have beat us. If we had a full strength defense, we would have been pretty much unstoppable. It would have been fun to watch, and no reason in my mind we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. But again, here it is what it is. Injuries happen. Dan Campbell handled them the best he could, kept everybody motivated. Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, those guys fought tooth and nail for the city and what it represents for Detroit. And it just feels good as a fan of Detroit to see them actually be good. But yeah, so let's go ahead and root for those Lions 2025. Hopefully these free agents start coming in here shortly and see who we hire back for the offensive and defensive coordinator. Dan Campbell, and Dan we trust. I like it. I'd love to play for him. But let me know what you guys think about the future of Detroit, who they should go after, who do you think they should sign, who do you think they should let go in free agency, and who do you wish that, if we were able to redo some of the season, what do you guys think we could have done differently? Again, let's go ahead. Lions are a prominent place to come to now, and I think that's going to help us out in free agency now, to where before it was like coming to Detroit was a death sentence, to where now we got a chance to win the Super Bowl. Great fun to watch. Great year. Yeah, it was a little disappointing, but we'll be back, and Hutchinson will be back, and we with a strong core and with all of our starters there, and as long as they stay healthy, we'll win the Super Bowl. Thanks for tuning in. Reviews of Moose here, and everybody have a great day.